everybody, and welcome to Nerdsplaining Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Da Silva. With me, as always, my co-host, Jose Romero.
Greetings, salutations, nerds around the world. Welcome to our abridged version of Nerdsplaining. We're short today. We're
Right,
just.
it's July 4th weekend. We got stuff to
That's
do. We got some
true.
day drinking to accomplish, barbecuing and grilling, pool times. It's a lot, guys.
Exactly, Americana, if you will. And so we're just gonna do.
Absolutely.
We got some nuggets which we'll push for next week. Nothing major, but we're gonna do. We're just gonna focus on the Acolyte. Everyone's doing it. We should do it. We've been talking about
We
Acolyte
could
for
not
6 weeks.
focus on the
We can
Acolyte.
focus on the Acolyte, the good and the bad, and there's plenty of both. Uh,
Yes. Again,
Again, I'll say, so I'm not to waste any time. We'll jump right in, but this show is consistent with its inconsistencies,
you are
right?
nailing it, sir.
I want to like this show. I really do, and I think you like it more than I. Not greatly. I know you're not raving about the show by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
It's just I don't know what to say, man. It just like it doesn't want to be good. It tries its
Well, you
best.
know what? I
Not.
I, I disagree.
I don't know.
It wants to be good, but it doesn't know how to.
Fair enough.
It's like it. There's something intrinsically moral inside that's like, oh, I deserve to do good things, but it was raised in an abusive household, so it doesn't know how to
Maybe
be nice.
maybe you're right, and maybe that's what it is. But whatever it gets in its own way. How about that? Is that
Yeah,
okay?
I
There we go. I think that's a
look,
fair
everything,
assessment.
all the Manny Jacinto stuff was great. I thought his now that he's a part of the story actively, and his corruption of OSHA, I thought that was probably the most compelling, the most consistently compelling part of the whole episode.
Correct. This is we got three sub stories going on. We had him, obviously. We had the Soul and May, and then we had the green girl, whatever her name is, Jedi, and
Souls,
whatever,
like higher
whatever,
up,
whatever it is.
I
And we had
forgot her
so
name.
the three one, right?
Which
Oh,
she did have the one with the cool lightsaber whip, which was kind of fun to
that
see.
was cool, but whatever.
Right,
Fine.
it's kind of fun. It's like,
It's kind of
oh,
fun.
okay.
It's cool. I'd like to see more of. I'm sure we will. Maybe we won't. But out of the three storylines, only one really worked, and it was that one. Right. That's the only
Right.
thing that really worked. He's
Yeah.
really good, man. He's saving this show. I
He
mean,
really is.
he's not making it good. He's just making it not terrible. How about that?
Yeah, yeah.
He's keeping
He's
it afloat.
keeping it on.
He's like it's there because, and he's only been. I really wish he was an integral part of the entire season.
Yeah.
Which goes back to the show should have been about him and forget the twins like we mentioned last week. That's
Uh-huh.
not working.
not.
Just focus on Soul and maybe Daphne Keene's character, them together doing this murder mystery, true crime kind of drama in Star Wars world, right?
And the fact that there is, I mean, maybe I misunderstood, but he did imply there was a connection between Soul and himself, right?
I I don't know. It's weird because that's the only thing my complaint is that they still haven't given us enough information.
Right.
Because I know he mentions, the big scar on his back. He mentions he was a former Jedi, which the fact no one really knows him is odd. I mean, Soul's been around I would assume, has been around for a long time. He's a Jedi Master.
40 years. Let's put 40 years on it.
I mean, he didn't know who this guy was before. It's weird. Whatever. Then he mentioned about his. He doesn't say Jedi Master. He says his master or did something to him or cast him aside. That
Right.
could really mean maybe a Sith Master, right? Sith
Right.
Lord, potentially. We don't know that yet. It's unclear. That's fine for now. Well, maybe it's not fine for now because this should have been done in episode 3, but whatever. There's something there. Maybe Soul knows. I don't know. He knows something's going on there. I don't know what's happening, and I really wish we knew because they've had plenty of opportunity to kind of shed some more light than they have. And we talked about last week with these conversations that aren't being had, which should be had. And we got one this week with Soul and May where he's once again, something went bad. I gotta tell you about it. But he doesn't. Don't just tell me you gotta tell me
A
about it.
lot of alluding, a lot of
Yeah.
hang out 30 minutes.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll tell you in a
Yeah,
minute.
don't tell me you gotta tell me about it. Tell me about it, right? And it's frustrating. He's like, what do you just say it? You're there. It's you and her alone shit with pronoun rat. That's all. Who can speak, right? So I don't get that, and they keep like delaying it. It's like they're doing it just for plot's sake instead of for their actual writing and pushing the story. And that's
I kind of feel that way. I mean, listen, there was first of all, I was very sad to see essentially the murder of that droid, because she rebooted into factory settings.
Oh my God.
That was, I was like, no.
that whole sequence was so cringe. It was probably the worst, even worse than Power One, Power Many. it was so goofy. It was weird. The thing is like
I
doing fake kung fu and stomps in the foot, and the little robot shits in her face. Throws something in her face. It's just so it's ridiculous.
listen. I love the fact that her retaliation to that droid is, I'm gonna
Reset.
reboot you like an iPhone. Like, I was like,
Factory reset.
wow. Truly, the dark side is in this woman. Wow.
Ooh, the nerve. That was a weird sequence. It really was strange, but whatever. But even that, like, that whatever that creature is, whatever. Why did he just go straight to someone and say, "Hey"? He knows. I don't
Or
understand.
because this woman also killed 3 Jedis, why did she just murder him?
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Like you can't take on this. It's
You can't
weird.
force pull him towards you in a neck snap. Like,
I mean, she took
what are you
out
doing?
Trinity for Christ's sake. That's not.
That's
It's
what
not
I'm saying.
easily done. We know
Yeah.
it's not easy done. It was weird. It's awkward, and then here we go again. We weren't sure what her motivation was when when she switched places. It seemed like she wanted to kill Soul, right? Again,
Right.
didn't have the opportunity. Well, she could have killed him on the planet. It's just odd. It's just weird.
I will say,
I don't know.
I did like the fact that Soul was not played for a chump for more than just one episode. Like, he figured out who she was pretty fast.
Well,
Because
I guess that's one part I'm not clear on when he knew. Cause I've heard all kinds of chatter. Maybe that because I guess when he shot her and shocked her, right?
right,
They show him with the little rat next to him.
right.
So did he say something? So he know to. I don't know when he knew. I don't know.
I think he was sensing something,
Maybe.
because he was so emotionally distraught from having everyone die
Sure.
that he couldn't really peg it.
Yeah.
And then when he was like, "Oh, duh, yeah, of course."
Yeah, but it was kind of weird. It was like I don't know. It wasn't handled well. Like it just would have been more interesting. You kind of figured out. Oh, he knows. He's just trying to maybe get information or something. Whatever.
Right,
He's playing.
right.
That
Or like I said,
that would've been better.
Play off that he's so distraught that he can't figure out because
yeah.
he's got so much stuff with his head. I'll tell you what I didn't like. I didn't like where now they're creating this whole angle that maybe Soul is the murderer. I'm like,
horrible,
dude.
Oh, come
really,
on.
Really, this is your big thing.
Ridiculous, and I hate it's even if he makes the call right, and this is the part I'm getting. Soul, hey, I lost my whole crew or whatever. The Sith is there. Hey guys, there's a Sith who killed him. It's one word you throw in there. And I don't know why wouldn't he say that? Whatever. Then he leaves just as they arrive. A little trope, not a big deal, but it's whatever. But you're right. When they go down there, it's obvious what happened. Bunch of dead Jedi, lightsaber. It's not so. They know. She knows that.
Come on, yeah. I was like,
really?
Like,
come on. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's like, are they gonna drag that out? Like it's so just to fill an episode?
Like are you like now it's like now it's a race against the clock. Will Soul get to Manny Jacinto's character before the Jedi mistakenly get him? And then what's it like? No, we already did the confused identity in the first 2-3 episodes. We don't need any more confusions anymore. And listen, if these people are that advanced in the Force, because literally, Green Lady, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting her name.
I don't know.
She tells her assistant Jedi, "Use the Force. What do you see?" You would know if Soul turned dark. Like, you would feel that shift in him. You feel
that energy. And why no one's Yoda or anybody hasn't felt a bunch of Jedi dying is beyond me, but that's a different conversation.
Jedis only feel planets die. That's
apparently,
the way the rules work.
I guess.
It's only planets.
Order 66, because Yoda's like...
Listen, it's very far away. You need an Order 66. You need Jedi to die by wholesale. If it's not a wholesale assassination,
you can't piecemeal these deaths. So it's kind of weird, and and her psychic, whatever that Padawan was. Can we get some?
I don't know. I think it's a Jedi assistant. I think he's not a Padawan. I think he's a straight up Jedi assistant.
I don't even know. I wasn't sure if he had his blade or not. I don't know. I didn't.
I saw the blade.
Okay, so he can wield the blade. So he's something, right?
Right.
Can you get someone that looks like a Jedi? This guy looked like he's from the office of the Silver, Romero, and Johnson accounting firm. I mean, come on. Really? You know what I'm saying? Like,
First of all,
it's so not believable.
I appreciate being first in this partnership.
I put you there. I give you some respect. But it's stuff.
But who's Johnson?
I don't know. He just came to mind. Whatever. But it's just weird that it's little things in the details, right? Having that fat Jedi in the beginning, it just threw me off. It's like,
Yeah.
really, it's just odd. Now this stupid weird nerdy. This guy looks like he's gonna be Dustin Diamond's a replacement of reboot of Saved by the Bell. I mean, that's the vibe I got.
Look,
He's
here's
not a
here's what I say.
he's not a
If you're gonna
Jedi.
put a fat Jedi, it's gotta be like one of those old school kung fu movies where the fat guy is the most acrobatic out of everything.
Right, right. He's like
You
some,
gotta
yeah.
be amazing, or I don't want to hear about
I
it.
don't
So
hear about
that's
it. Yeah,
so
listen,
if you don't give me an acrobatic fat guy, then I'm not gonna believe he's a Jedi.
yeah,
I'm sorry. And
it's
if you're gonna
weird.
give me
Yes, and it's
if
stuff
you're
like
gonna give me a British guy, if he's not condescending me to go for school, then I don't want
I don't
that
want to
British
hear
guy
it.
on my
I
team.
don't want to hear it. It's
I
just,
want cool British cats on my team.
God, it's just, and even what was the whole. What I found funny when they're gonna take off. You can't. You get sick in hyperspace and what. It was like, what? Why? Why is that part of the conversation? It's weird. It's just like, okay,
Well,
is that to be
to,
funny?
to
Is that a
me,
joke or?
to me, it rang a little funny only because Obi-Wan never liked flying either.
Like
So
fine, but he didn't get queasy or it was weird. It's odd. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, that one storyline, and she looked funny with the helmet on at the end when we just skipped to the end. When
yes,
she looked, it looked like a little kid wearing a hat that's too big for him.
it looked like a little kid trying out a helmet
Yeah,
that like he found like his dad had. Like,
right.
oh, this is so cool, and that's like it's a collectible. Don't touch it.
Exactly. That's what it was.
Felt like. It felt like
It gave
that.
like dark helmet vibes watching Spaceballs in a big giant. It was weird. I don't know, but whatever. And I just don't know if I believe her turning to the dark side because they haven't set it up right. We don't know anything about her,
Right,
and that's the
right.
problem, right? If you're gonna make a dark side, fine, but set it up. Show us something why she leave the Jedi Order? What was the issue? That we don't even know. They could have just in 2 sentences they could have solved that when she first met Soul. Soul said,
And
"Hey, well, you left
Manny,
because of this. You're too angry or whatever." Right? Hinted at it.
Manny Gentile's character has repeatedly said, "Oh, you haven't told her," which means he knows what happened.
Right.
So tell her the thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's frustrating. They're just trying to, just for plot purposes, to extend it out. When this could have been, we could have known all this information, and let's get to the climax of it, which is coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
2 episodes left.
And let me just say, everything with that Manny Gentile was doing, I thought was great.
It was.
There was only one thing that bothered me, and because I've heard this line so many times that only when you've lost everything are you free to do anything. I'm like,
that's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I know, but I've heard this like
It's fair.
so many times. Like right now, that line is like in third place. In first place is it's all about family. Like that is the number one thing about everything. That's all about family. Number 3 is when you've lost everything, are you free to do anything? Like yeah, I get.
You're right. It's not a new
That's
line.
There's new statements.
It's fair.
How about orange is the new black? Let's make that something. Please.
I don't know, and I got a feeling we're gonna get that flashback episode or whatever. Finally revealing it. I would assume it needs to be next episode.
It's gotta be.
Which is a bad move to begin with. I hate when they do it the penultimate episode to do that. They should do it. They should have done it this episode, right?
We've talked about this.
Yes.
The second to last episode is always a flashback episode,
and it shouldn't
it's
be.
Always
and,
a flashback
and it's
episode.
a lot of shows do, and it's just a big mistake. And if we don't do it next week and do it in the end, really, the last episode, that it doesn't work. It's not how you. That's not good storytelling, man. It's frustrating.
We obviously know there's a flashback episode coming.
It's coming at some point.
Wouldn't it be better if they would have done the flashback episode and then the episode where all the Jedi's died, because you would realize now there's that tension, like some of these people are getting what they deserve. Some of these people are hiding things. They're not being altruistic.
So we understand, everything, right? The impact is there of all the stakes, right? They could have done this episode and done 6, 7, right? Because then when he's talking all this stuff, now as the audience, we understand, okay, it's making sense. Although Osha may not know it, we know it as the audience, right? It's there, and that's important when we're following the story. She doesn't know. It's like, okay, it's just the following. They can't even get that right. It's just, and I really hope, I got a feeling when we see or whatever flashback or the story's told or whatever, when May lights the fire, it was actually Osha who set it ablaze. I got a feeling that's what we're gonna get.
I could see that happening.
Something along those lines, because they have to instill the fact that she's got a little bit of darkness in her, which is fine. But you can't wait to the very end to do that, right? Because when he's trying to turn to the dark side, are you really believing it? Someone who just didn't allow Soul to kill him, now all of a sudden is bad. what is she entertaining this stuff? He's spewing. He killed a friend and whatever, Daphne Keene, and she's like whatever. It just doesn't add up. If we think that there is a chance that she might turn, now those conversations really have weight. Oh, we
Right.
know what she does. She's the dark. She got kicked out of the Jedi or whatever because of that. They sense that darkness. Okay, that makes sense, right?
Right.
And if the make good, oh my God forbid, that doesn't make any sense either. talk about
We're
having
just we're just
talk about
we're
having
just
bad in
moving.
her. Like I don't want Soul to say this. I'll train your Jedi. She's got bad in her. We see
Right.
it. You don't train someone like that, obviously.
But a character's motivation can't be on a lazy Susan. You can't keep moving it around
That's
and
what
like,
I'm
nah,
saying.
you're good.
Flip
Nah, you're back.
flopping
Nah,
back and
you're good.
forth.
Nah, you're back.
It's odd. It's just that it's not working completely. But though his scenes saved this episode, and
Saved it, and I thought the little bit of Soul and May I thought was good, but it was inconsistent,
it's
which
inconsistent.
is
Yeah,
frustrating.
it
And
really
then the
is,
whole
man.
pivot to maybe Soul being the murderer as a misunderstanding,
Oh,
just no,
that's
no,
ludicrous, man.
no, no.
They're gonna have to follow up with that, unfortunately.
Yeah,
So we're gonna
yeah,
get some of that, next week or the week, whenever. It's just wasting time.
yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know how this is gonna end, and I assume we're gonna get a review of the news of the another Sith because the director, lead or whatever her name is, said there was no Sith in here,
Right.
right? So I think when at the end they're gonna show him, and then fade to black. Really, waste of
This is my
time.
new student,
Yeah, it's just a
Palpatine.
waste of time. It's a
Bum,
waste of
bum, bum.
It's cliche, it's dull, and this is no season 2 coming for this show.
Yeah,
I
no, please don't.
guarantee it. You know what I'm saying? And real quick before we sign off, real quick, I know you have to go, but the ratings, oh my God, dude! I heard that Nielsen hasn't come out, but Variety uses another company. I forgot what it's called, but they were showing ratings and top new original shows ratings and stuff
Right.
like that. This one had dropped like 10% from from 4 to 5. Overall, it's 60% less than Ahsoka. That's really bad.
That's really bad.
It's a huge number, and like I saw the
Yeah.
list of the top 10. It's like number 7. You had Bridgerton way ahead of it, which I guess a popular show. Presumed Innocence ahead of it, which is an Apple show, decent show. Jake Gyllenhaal,
Okay.
but there's no way you can tell me Presumed Innocence should get more views than a Star
Then,
Wars show.
then an IP like Star
Right.
Wars.
It just to me it's baffling. It doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense, and that's and at least
Star Wars should be Star Wars.
should be number
Star
one.
Wars should be pulling Game of Thrones
Of
numbers
course,
all the time.
or the boys.
That's what it should be
or
doing.
boys numbers, which is number 2.
Or boys numbers. Yeah.
At least because the same audience, right? And that has triple the views. Triple. That's crazy. And Star Wars should be at least there. At least there. Not saying Bridgerton's got like 3 times the boys. If the Bridgerton's a very popular show, and I get it. It captures a wider audience. I understand that. I don't watch the show, so if it's good, but I don't know. But boys, you can reach boy level. I'm the boys level. Or Game of Thrones. You have to. It's just it's frustrating, man. It really is, man. And listen, 2 left. We'll jump into a little more deeply as the next couple weeks go by. Fingers crossed. I have no hope. And should we? Nope. Right. So that being said, Eric, we'll sign off now, and we'll come back. We'll do episode 7 next week for you, give you our thoughts and all that. And those are the nuggets for the week.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to check out all the channels here on the Latin Nerd Network. You can watch Nerdsplaining, you can watch a watch list, and you can watch Stannis' Choice and other stuff. Don't forget to check out my book, DangerSquad.com. Big announcements coming up for that one. All the original audio episodes on EricDaSilva.com. Don't forget to pick up my album, Adorably Offensive, as well. My name is Eric Da Silva. This is Jose Romero. We have been Nerdsplaining, and if you don't know, now you know.
Peace.
Boom.